Here we go, another day, more critiques. Right, so we've got Lan's pictures this time. Lan was using iPhone, I think it was 8. And the thing with Lan is Lan knows what she's doing. She understands it, she gets it, she's a creative, she knows about composition. So I don't really have to say a great deal about most of these pictures because she knows about how to take a good picture. This one, try to work it out. It's like a reflection. You can kind of see some sort of reflected areas here, and then everything's kind of upside down. So I guess she's shooting through. Where's she shooting? I don't know, but it's a reflection, so it's quite cool. It's gone fairly blue, which I guess is a little bit distracting, but I guess when you've got a phone and reflection and kind of light like this, you're asking a lot. But yeah, it's a cool idea. I did have reflection as a card, but I don't think Lan got it. But if she did, then it's a good reflection. How would I change it? I probably wouldn't do much really. Try and just straighten it up. But I don't think that's going to do much. And then I'd maybe kind of just increase the contrast a bit to bring like the blacks down, to make the shadows kind of like a bit darker really, and maybe just bring the vibrance down a bit. But yeah, hardly anything I'd do to that. It's a good picture, interesting. This light here, this is the brightest part of the picture, so this is kind of where my eyes directed to, so maybe a cheeky little crop there to get that out. And then you kind of got the frame which leads you into the main body here, which is a upside down coffee shop. Next one. Again, like there's very small amount of detail on this because it's a phone and it's shot in JPEG, so I've not got much kind of latitude to play around with, but it's good. Like it, like the idea behind it, like the symmetry of these handles, the symmetry of the doors, like the reds. This kind of creamy color is same as this creamy color, this is same as this. Like how she's framed the flowers kind of here. I guess the only problem is the flowers are off to the left in real life, and she's kind of tried to fill the frame by kind of getting the flowers in and the doors in. I like the idea. I just think the flowers are in the wrong position, but that's not Lan's fault. It's Holmfirth's fault, so Holmfirth, sort it out, sort your symmetry out. But I like the idea. It's not a great deal I can do with it because of the detail, but it's pretty cool as it is. I'd probably just sort the colours out because they're a bit funky, but without kind of a better file, I'm going to struggle. But yeah, it's good. Everything's in focus, all kind of exposed correctly. Perfect. Right. Next one. This is just simple, but I like it. It's really effective. When you're photographing buildings or anything, it's all about kind of having straight lines, and we've got straight lines throughout. Even if I was like to do an autocorrect, it just moves it the slightest bit, but like Lan's done a brilliant job of kind of keeping this. I love how like you've got light on this building, and then all of a sudden it leads to this shadow here, but you don't lose any detail of this building. It's kind of light then shadow, so there's really good contrast in it. Once again, the iPhone's not done an amazing job at handling the colour, but it's done pretty good job to say how like kind of how warm the light was. Maybe if I change the white balance slightly, I'll make a right toe of it. But no, because there's not enough kind of detail, I can't really do much. But I love the framing. I love these doors, the bunting, the sign, you know, I know Grant took a picture kind of similar where he used sort of this angle, but Lan's wins easily. So's Grant. Yeah, good work, Lan. Right, and leading lines. So again, this goes back to what I was saying before, like at the start. Lan understands it. She knows composition. Everywhere you look in this picture, there's lines that lead you into the frame. So we've got kind of this railing here is just taking you down into the picture. This line here leads you to this railing. This line here leads you to this railing. This is directing your eye. This is directing your eye. Like these here, there's, you know, everything about it's great. I love to see like a good portrait would be kind of having someone here. So you'd have the leading lines and then you'd have someone here, but you know, it's a cracking shot. Good looking nice in black and white actually. Yeah, it's a cracker. I like it, and she's really got a good idea of the leading lines. Maybe we cropped that. So even when I'm just looking at this is actually on the third, which is really impressive. But if we moved it up a little bit, then that kind of had something to it, because that could be seen as distracting, but even that I like. So yeah, Lan, well done, you've nailed it. Right, more leading lines. Right, look at this bad boy. This for me, I saw Lan laying on the road and I knew exactly what she was doing, and yeah, this for me is actually the shot of the day, of the night. It's my favourite shot by far. She's got really low, or actually laying on the road, which is always a great idea, because what we're saying before is when you're walking around between kind of 5'8" and 6'2" or whatever, you're always looking at the world from that level. So when you change your viewpoint, so if you go down on the floor or if you go up high, then everything looks more interesting. So like this is just, it's just ace, isn't it? It's just a great picture. I just wish like there were someone walking over this zebra crossing here, but that's just me being silly. But yeah, well done, Lan. Best picture at night. Right, and bench challenge. So Lan has actually done the same kind of shot that Grant did. Whereas Grant, he shot through this hole here and he kept the people in focus, including the Holmfirth weirdo. But Lan has gone for a portrait version and got some of the detail of the bench in with the people kind of there out of focus, blurred, which is rather interesting. Does it work? I'm not sure. It is a little bit distracting. Maybe again if we just kind of made the bench a bit darker and kept the subjects in, and there's something there, but I think all these like this spring and stuff is a little bit distracting, but it's a good, you know, it's a good idea, and it's a good way of getting used to playing around with depth of field. Yeah, good work. Let's just try it as a landscape. Or a landscape, it could be a landscape, can't it? She's going to kill me for that. Right, yeah, good work. Right, more bench challenge, look at this bad boy, eh? Right, so this one here, to me, this is, from what I've seen, I reckon, winner of the bench challenge, easily. So Lan has kind of used composition really well, because she's worked out that there's two benches and there's this hole here, and she's shooting through this kind of like this arm on this bench here to frame this, and it's done brilliantly. Like everything is kind of framed. If she'd have left like the top of this kind of out, it wouldn't work, but everything is there. Even this little kind of little bit of leg is still framed. But yeah, winner, winner chicken dinner, I reckon. So well done, Lan. What can you prize me? I'll tell you what your prize can be. You can have a photo shoot with your dog, like at Halloween or before, whenever. Yeah. Just no balloons and confetti, because I'm not cutting all that malarkey out. And then finally, well, we've got two more, and these are just around the corner. And these are kind of just throwaway pictures. It's kind of, oh, I've seen a fish in a wall, which are really interesting fish, really. There's like loads of these little pictures in this wall. I often look around for them with my kids. But it's pretty dark there, so the phone's done a really good job of keeping the detail and making it in focus, really. Yeah, just make it stand out a little bit more. I'd just increase the contrast, like bring down the blacks, put the whites up a little bit. That's it. And then finally, picture of a fairy door. And again, if you look what Lan's done, she understands composition. So if I put the grid on, you can see that this door it's on the third of the line, you know, so it's great. Lan knows what she's doing. I think if she didn't have limitations with her phone, like she could produce some really good stuff. But yeah, good work. So you've got the winner of the bench challenge here, and you've also got best picture at evening, I reckon. Yeah, good work, well done.